Welcome to a new episode of Little Eyes, Big Topics, an AAPOS podcast. In this episode, Dr. Jennifer Galvin speaks with Megan Pfefferly, Executive Director of the Children's Eye Foundation of AAPOS, to explain the role of the foundation and how AAPOS members can get involved.
Thank you for joining us, everyone, for our podcast of Little Eyes, Big Topics, an AAPOS podcast. I have the pleasure today of talking with Megan Pfefferly, the Executive Director of Children's Eye Foundation of AAPOS. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Dr. Jenny Galvin. On behalf of the Digital Education Committee of AAPOS, welcome. Tell us about your background and what you envision for the role of CEF of AAPOS.
Well, my background, has jumped all over the place, but I started my career, began it in a nonprofit situation as a YMCA program director.
Oh,
and that's
wonderful.
Really where I think I got the bug, if you will, or the passion for what nonprofits do and how donor dollars and outside support is really important. Obviously in a YMCA, they sell memberships, so they have some income coming in, but most nonprofits don't sell anything. There's no widget that they're selling. So really what their role is to educate both the outside world, and then in this situation with the Children's Eye Foundation, what I find, what's really fun for me is kind of this built-in audience of the members of the American, of the AAPOS Association. So we've got this built-in membership of over 2,000 I consider them my captive audience.
Yes.
And that's the first line that we go to educate about their foundation and what their foundation is doing for them, and also for us as the foundation to listen and find out what we need to be doing for pediatric ophthalmology, because I think it's a two-way street.
Yes.
Yes, we need you guys to donate to us, but I think we really hold we can be a voice for you as we advocate about what pediatric ophthalmologists do, how important it is.
Yes.
The fact that, most of us as parents, when we've had young kids, we didn't even think about it. But interestingly enough, since I've taken this job, I've spoken with some of my own friends who were like, oh my gosh, a pediatric ophthalmologist saved my little guy's eyesight. And my own sister-in-law, had an eye. She literally used to jump from the top of the steps to the landing, thinking that it was there when she couldn't see. And so it's amazing how we take what you guys do for granted. So what the foundation's role is twofold, in my opinion. A, advocate for you guys, and B, go out and fundraise to get donors both inside the association and then outside the association to support it, and then support the amazing programs that the foundation is currently really undertaking and doing a great job of developing and growing.
Thank you for sharing what you envision as this kind of two-way street between the leadership and management at CEF, as you are our leader in that role, as well as us as pediatric ophthalmologists, that we love what we do, but because our time is consumed with patient care and working with parents, often we can't be the best advocates for ourselves. But we can certainly help those to give us that template in terms of what is best, not only for ourselves and colleagues, but for the future and the next generation. Tell us about how AAPOS members can get involved at any level of philanthropy.
100%. Found out, okay, if every AAPOS member, so all of you AAPOS members that might be listening,
yes, that's
if
right.
every AAPOS member gave $25, we would raise over $47,000. And that is the impact of really, it doesn't, yes, do I love the $1,000 donors and the $500 donors and the $10,000? Of course, every foundation director loves those. But I'm all about how quickly those small amounts add up to a bigger amount. The other thing that does is when every member of the association gives, and then I, as the director, go out and start writing grants to bigger organizations to get those bigger dollars. Quite often they'll ask, what about your own? Do your own support you and support what you do? And so when you can say, yes, every member has given to our foundation, that's huge.
Yeah,
And
it
that's
validates things.
it does. And
I
I learned that again back at the YMCA. We kicked off a huge capital campaign at one point, and our director was like, I can't go to the public if I can't say that every single employee supports this. And by support, I don't mean you have to write me a big check. I mean, if it's $1, it's $1. If it's whatever it is, I love it. It's really more of the giving, just what do you feel comfortable giving? And I go back to $25 from every member will knock us out. And it's that small amount it's amazing how quickly small dollars add up to bigger dollars, and what those dollars then the big impact that they have. And that's really what the foundation is about, is the impact.
Yeah. No, I think that's really valuable and impactful. Like you were mentioning, Megan, is that we really want a grassroots effort and a way even to educate all AAPOS members about how very small donation at $25 can make a difference, and even just enlighten everyone in terms of what is the everyday activities of what they're doing every day and taking care of children's eyes.
Exactly.
And then there are even more specialized programs that are part of CEF of AAPOS, but at the same time, that certainly doesn't take away from all the advocacy that is ongoing and going to be in the future for the field of ophthalmology and strabismus.
100%. And I think the key is you guys already know what you do every day. So the other piece of this that helps me is I get to know more about what you do every day, because I think then as a foundation director and the foundation as a whole, we also are responsible for giving the outside community, if you will, I was like my mom and dad, my aunt and uncle, my grandparent, whatever, educate them on what it is you do and why it's important to support an organization like this. And I think that piece is really valuable. I challenged the staff, the AAPOS staff and the CEF staff, and it was interesting. They had a good time, and they were like, "Oh my God, my aunt and uncle just gave," and I'm like, "Yeah, my mom just did it." And the only way that happened was because they were passionate about the program and about the foundation and about what you guys do every day, and went and told their family and friends, I care about this. So will you support me because I care about this and it's important to me? And that's kind of the fire that gets started, and everybody goes, oh yeah, let me go check this. Oh, wow, I had no idea. And that's really how it starts.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, and that's really wonderful that you inspired your staff at CEF of AAPOS. And this was a really great way to kick off learning more about CEF of AAPOS. We, on behalf of the Digital Education Committee, and I really have learned so much about what CEF of AAPOS is, and it's been a pleasure to talk with you, Megan. And thank you for being our executive director. We're really looking forward to your leadership and what you are going to bring to the table, and working together, as we're saying, with the advocacy component for pediatric ophthalmology, but also to have a grassroots effort for all pediatric ophthalmology members of AAPOS to really feel like, this is a foundation that is going to be something that they're going to want to really support every year, and then celebrate and raise a glass to themselves and their colleagues and their mentors at the gala.
100%. Well said. That's exactly what it is. And thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, till we do this again, on behalf of Little Eyes, Big Topics and AAPOS podcast, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.